Upon returning home, Tails grabbed his notebook, sketching the version of Amy he'd seen within their shared subconscious. His reasoning for this was simple. He wanted her to see things through his eyes, and let her decide for herself what she wanted to pursue. The more details he added, the stronger his infatuation grew. He had to be careful not to let the ideal consume him. It was easy to lose oneself in selfish ideas of perfection, and the last thing he wanted was to make her feel unloved as she was. Tacking the image to his wall, he mulled over what he should do next. He thought back to Rouge's suggestion, considering ways to improve his physical strength. Guess I should start with the basics. Not really in great shape, but it's better than nothing. Hopefully it pays off soon. While too young for weights, Tails developed a routine structured around endurance, strength, and conditioning. Asking Knuckles for assistance, the echidna was curious as to what brought about this change in behavior. It's a long story, but to summarize, me and Amy had a bit of an emotional discussion. It's possible we'll end up dating in the near future. I want to be as strong as possible so I can protect her, even from Shadow should it become necessary. Amy? I thought she only had eyes for Sonic. She did, but things between them never got off the ground. They wanted different things, and Sonic gave me his blessing to pursue her in his place. That doesn't sound like him. You know he likes attention. I know. I wouldn't believe it either, but you can ask him yourself. The words came from his own mouth. Are you sure it was him and not an imposter? Pretty sure. I have no reason to suspect otherwise. Of course, hearing it out loud, it does sound like some weird fanfiction we'd see online, but you know the old saying, truth is often stranger than fiction. I suppose. Still, I want to confirm it myself just to be sure. Be my guest. After speaking with Sonic, the Hedgehog corroborated everything Tails said, assuring Knuckles things were on the up and up. Admittedly, it was still hard for the echidna to believe, but if it was coming from Sonic's mouth, he had no reason to argue. Honestly, it's hard for me letting her go. I know her intentions were good, but I knew it would end badly, no matter how much we wanted it to work. He can reach her in a way that I can't, so I think it's for the best if I let them be happy together. Even though I'm hearing it, it's still hard for me to believe. You're compassionate to a fault, aren't you? Kindness doesn't come easy. It took a lot of practice to get where I am now. Come to think of it, Tails reminds me of the story of Orion. Are you familiar with it? Orion? No, I can't say that I am. It's said that long ago, a legendary hunter fell in love with the goddess Aphrodite, but the lord of the underworld Hades grew jealous and trapped Aphrodite in the dream world. Orion searched far and wide for a way to release her, eventually stumbling across a village of shamans. Calling on the spirits who were trapped between dimensions, they led Orion to the depths of Aphrodite's subconscious, where he and Hades engaged in battle. Orion couldn't defeat Hades in combat, so he had to distract him long enough for the duo to escape. Orion and Aphrodite were married soon after, and they lived the rest of their lives in peace. When Tails talks about Amy, I see the love in his eyes. He adores her just as much, if not more so. Yeah, that sounds about right. His heart's purer than mine. It takes a lot to rile him up, but when he is, I wouldn't want to be in his way. So you recognize his potential too. Shadow is the one he's truly afraid of. If either of them were to go rogue, the whole world would be in danger. We can't let that happen, no matter the cost to ourselves. Well, I'm not worried. Unless something happens to Amy, Tails will be just fine. Shadow's moved on from Maria, so if anything, they're more likely to work together in the future. If it weren't for Amy, he would have never remembered their promise. I have to give credit where credit is due. Fair enough. Still, better safe than sorry. You can never be too careful, not with a history like ours. Tell you what, I'll deal with Shadow if you take care of Tails. Sound fair? It's better than nothing, anyway. May as well give it a try. That's the spirit. Let's do it. I'm counting on you, Hedgehog. Try not to let me down. Back at you, Punchy McPuncherson. Remember, bones can only take so much pressure. I'll try to keep that in mind.